Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Closers Camp here in Madison, Wisconsin. We have our Profits or Sanity podcast live here on site. And today I have the honor and privilege of interviewing the Chief Revenue Officer of Rize, Vincent Sun, who, in my opinion, is one of the brightest minds I've ever met when it comes to optimizing your business with AI. Artificial intelligence is certainly all the craze right now. So if we can pick the brains of some of the brightest minds to show how can we implement this into our business successfully to build a 20, 30, 50+ million dollar company, that's obviously sweet music to our ears, and that's what we want to be talking about. So, Vincent, first of all, share a little bit about your background. How did you get so immersed into AI to begin with? And what's the big message that you're looking to share here at Closers Camp when you speak?
Well, first of all, Dom, thanks for having me. I really came into technology right from the get-go. I studied at UC Berkeley, studied cognitive science, and really took a focus in linguistics, which is really everything to do with what AI is good at now, which is understanding almost the rules behind language and being able to predict what the next word is. And that's really what LLMs really are. And really that whole background when it comes to home improvement started when I took a look last year at going to 16 different conferences since May of last year. And I shook hands, went into these kind of breakout sessions and talked with folks like yourself and also contractors. And I just realized that AI could do a lot, but it can only do so if everything was more connected. There's a lot of vendors out here that all do a great job, but they only do that one job.
Yep.
And ultimately, when contractors buy a bunch of software, they're thinking about, well, how does all of the software integrate so I get the ROI that I really wanted, get that value? And so I think ultimately when it comes to AI automation in my background, it's really focused on more of the practical things of how do I deploy AI everywhere, not so much just in one place. And it's really good at, let's say, helping you write emails better or like making marketing copy. But I think the next step here for this whole industry, talking about going from 10, 20 to 50 million plus, is really about how do I make sure that AI is applied everywhere? It's listening to all the conversations. It's helping me figure out what my business really means to me. And I don't need to be hiring a data analyst. I don't need to be hiring developers, all that good stuff.
Yeah, that's really powerful. And, you talk about being able to work on your business, not in your business. And, there's owners that are still a little scared, a little skeptical about taking this leap into AI. And one thing that I've heard other people say is, people are scared of AI replacing them, but they should probably be more fearful of people leveraging AI to its full potential replacing them. So what's your take on that? Like if people let's say they flat out refuse to adopt AI in their business, I guess, where do you see that leading to inevitably? And what are some of the biggest competitive advantages you're going to see from those companies that go all in and use it everywhere in their business, like you're describing?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of history. So if we were to take a look at this industry, what really has evolved in the past 20 to 30 years is really marketing, right? With the advent of Facebook and just digital marketing in general, now all these companies can grow so much more, right? Because you have access to all these folks, and just by posting some marketing collateral, you get access to millions of eyeballs all across the country. And if you weren't doing that, and in those 20, 30 years, you were burying your head in the sand and you weren't doing any digital marketing, well, a lot of those companies aren't around anymore. Or if they are, they're a rare breed and they're not as relevant. And I think the big thing that we're seeing in the industry now is not only are there incredible opportunities to get more efficient with AI and automation, but more practically, you have things like inflation, you have things like tariffs, you have all these things that are telling the business owner, you need to get way more efficient. You need to know your numbers, you need to be automating more, you need to be able to do more with less. And totally to your point, you got to work on the business in order to do that. And so AI, if you think of it as a ChatGPT or an assistant for your business, that's really the holy grail here is how do I have this agent that understands my business, whether it's from the marketing, call center, sales, production, to accounting, right? How do I piece all of that together so that I get a 360-degree visibility over my business? And not only that, I can control what happens, the inputs, and be able to see, let's say, if the business is trending downwards or is trending upwards, and how do I double down or figure out and diagnose what the problem is faster than, let's say, a week from now, a month from now, a quarter from now, a year from now, right? It's like, how do I do it today?
Yeah, because, of course, over the last several years, a lot of people are trying to hop on this tidal wave of AI, trying to cash in, so to speak. So I don't even know how many companies offer an AI widget or tool or technology or service at this point. It's probably over hundreds at this point, just in our industry alone. And that's, in my opinion, probably what really discourages people. It's like, am I going to really pay monthly or annual agreements to 20, 30 different AI companies to have AI everywhere? So I guess when you see this merger of all these different, I guess you call it integrations and all this AI speaking together, where it's like, okay, now I have AI in my business and it's on one platform, one dashboard. Where do you see this evolving to where a contractor can wrap their head around it? They can go all in, have AI everywhere without having 25 different companies that they're working with.
Yeah, I think what we've seen so far in the industry is that the platforms meaning these are the players where all of your data, your customer data, all of that pools into that one place. Typically, that's a CRM.
Yeah.
And so we have the Improve It 360s, we have the Market Sharps, we have the Leap CRM, you have Lead Perfection, right? All these CRMs, they do their job really well, but they're also dated. And I don't think even the companies that own them are going to deny that. They're dated. And so when you think about the responsibility of a platform, we believe the responsibility certainly is to do the integrations, is to go out to the partnerships and be able to integrate really well together. But integration really is that buzzword where every partner of yours or vendor is going to want to say that they integrate with X. But then you have to ask yourself as a contractor, as an owner of your business, because you're responsible ultimately for the destiny of your business. Hey, do you guys do exactly what I need you to do? Because it's about what you integrate, how you integrate, rather than just do you integrate. Because the question is always going to be yes. Or the answer is always going to be yes.
Of course.
Yeah. And I think that is where the future for a lot of these contractors is to pressure the platforms to do the job, pressure all their vendors to do the job of actually integrating really well. And obviously, if there is a competitor coming in, such as Rize or whoever it is, obviously our job here is to figure out, hey, how do we be that glue that connects everything together, but in a way that also delivers you all the value that you really want out of the tool? Because it's really not about the tool, it's about the outcome. And whatever it takes to get to that outcome, if that means less login screens, less drop-down menus, right, then we'll do that. But if that doesn't mean that, then that's totally fine. If that just means connecting everything else, that's another path. But yes, I think the future looks like a lot more of the user interface. All these drop-down menus, tabs that you have open are really going to disappear. And all you're really going to have is a seamless, focused experience for, let's say, a call center agent. Let's say for someone that's dispatching or assigning reps and routing. And then for any knowledge worker that's really just trying to figure out, hey, what happened with my installs this week? Really, it's just going to be like a chat-driven experience, because that's ultimately what people find natural. Everyone texts, everyone calls up folks, and everyone knows how to speak English or Spanish with Grosso's new program.
That's right.
And really, all you really need to do is be able to speak that language that we're all familiar with and get the answers that you need back and be able to drill down and investigate into the problems. So I think the back office is going to have just an easier time training onto these tools, because all they need to know is really just how to ask questions. And a process, and having all that is going to be really important. So none of the training is going to be commodified. Training and sales training, call center training, all sorts of EOS, all that kind of stuff is still going to be very practical. It's just going to look like, honestly, a lot easier for your folks to not learn a technology, but more so just learn how to talk, chat.
Something I really admire about you, I see you everywhere. Like, I don't know if I've ever met somebody that did as much market research and really boots on the ground, hit the pavement, shook hands, picked the brains of as many people as they could to try to find this solution, to really bring this all together. But I'd like for you to really explain, like, you're the chief revenue officer at Rize. Like,
Sure.
explain to the audience, like, what exactly is Rize? What's your vision? And kind of where do you see this growing to in the next year or two?
Yeah. I think I'll paint a scenario for you because I think that's easier.
Yep.
Right? You're a business owner, you're running a $20 million window company, right? You look at your Rize dashboard, it's flashing red on one territory, one location. You look into that location and for some reason revenue is trending down, right? And that's why it's flashing red. And then you take a look at the close rates, right? But the close rates look normal. We show you, you can type in, hey, show me all my sales reps in that place. Shows you a roster of all your sales reps. It's telling you and analyzing everything and telling you, hey, actually all these close rates look normal. And you're like, okay, what's happening? Then a notification pops up saying that your cancellation rates are going up, right? You type into that notification, it then breaks it down for you. Hey, your cancellations backed up right now. Let's figure out what's happening. And then you have an intuition. All right, like I want to see my call center. I want to take a look at my call center, bring up that roster. You identify that, hey, maybe Megan, for whatever reason, you see the entire journey of that opportunity from that lead being written and set all the way down to the demo and all that kind of stuff. You see who that is. You identify that Megan in this chain of this entire opportunity is the one that is potentially doing something wrong here. And the reason why is that in the call transcript, right, Megan is telling people that you're able to get an install in 3 weeks, but actually you have an 8-week backlog, right?
Yep.
And now you're able to actually identify, you intervene, you tell Megan, hey, this is what you need to change. I think that's really the scenario where it's really like a command center for the business so that you get full visibility and also complete control over understanding, hey, this is what happened, this is what went wrong, and here's my idea, right? You're on how to intervene, and then let's see if that worked. So the next time this happens, you actually get to see, oh, Megan, actually, we changed up the transcript. We told her to change these things. Boom. Cancellations are back to normal.
Yeah, so Rick Grosso always said, diagnosis without prognosis is malpractice. This really helps you really drill down, get really granular and detailed to diagnose exactly what's causing. Like, we see the symptoms, right? Well, what's the cause? And let's prescribe a cure or treatment and then measure and track the progress as we go. Sounds like the ultimate AI command center or executive dashboard to really command your business, which I think is absolutely amazing. And it's something that's desperately needed because I was wondering this like a year ago when I was attending all these events and seeing you go to like the IRE and there's like 50 AI companies there. Like, how does anyone even get started? It's like analysis paralysis times 1,000. It's like, I either like don't even start the journey because I'm terrified. Like, I'm not going to buy every AI that exists. Until I have a way to integrate all these things together or have that glue or have that Rize platform where now I can have visibility in my whole business, 30,000 foot view, and all the AI is speaking my language. It's all giving me the data I need, whether I'm focusing on the call center, the sales team, the back end of the business. You're having that AI work for you in all pillars of the business, which is really important. It's a really powerful stuff. So I guess what's one thing, if you were to say, okay, if you're just getting into AI for the first time, you're looking to maximize AI for profitability, of course, as a Profits for Sanity podcast. What are some simple things that owners and executives can start doing right away to start seeing improvements in efficiency and profitability in their business? Where would they start?
With AI?
Yeah.
With AI, I would say I would take a look at one, is how you're doing your marketing reporting, right? All the different lead aggregators that you are currently buying leads from send you reports from your email in spreadsheets, in PDFs, sometimes just through the call. All this kind of stuff is being passed through to you. And your CMO or whoever is managing your marketing is being bogged down trying to paint a story for the business every single day or every single week for leadership to really understand what that story is. And I think like when you think about that being a weekly exercise, it's more about, well, how do you turn that into a daily exercise where all of that marketing data is actually coming in at the speed of where it's coming in? so that you can actually move your business forward and you can make decisions faster. So I think that's one really simple part where in our experience, just being able to have an AI take a look at all these different formats and is able to, whether you're in spreadsheets, which a lot of businesses are, they're just running off of spreadsheets, right? And your CRM, you're toggling between all these different windows. It's a great example of kind of this dream of, hey, whatever format, file format that it's in, the AI is able to recognize all of that and still be able to integrate with your top level reporting through your CRM or whatever it is that you guys use, Power BI, whatever it is, to just be seamless. So it's not very sexy in that sense, but it's kind of the stuff that we focus on is a little bit of the unsexy. The scenario that I gave you was super sexy.
Yeah.
But actually behind the hood, it's a lot of just understanding how do you get garbage data in, improve the data quality so that when it comes out, it's actually clean data that your business can actually use for reporting, for sales and marketing automation, and also for third-party syncing when it comes to the apps that you guys use. So whatever other tools that you're using, which Dom referenced. So I think that's really it, is just where you start is kind of where the problem is.
Yep.
And where I see a lot of companies struggling today is that obviously cost per lead is really high right now. And so getting your net marketing cost to be at a certain level, you really need to be tracking it and on the ball very quick. So that's my practical sort of like, where do I start for everyone? But really, I think the real lesson here is wherever your problem is where you should start. So if it's in the field, then maybe you do some, sales virtual rider losses and something like that. If it's in the call center, maybe you do some AI voice agents or, some call center coaching through transcript analysis. There's a lot of different things that you could start with, honestly.
Yeah. So if you're not getting on the AI bandwagon, it's time to really start dipping your toe in the water. Ideally, take a cannonball in and start educating yourself. If you want to learn from one of the brightest minds, make sure you start following Vincent Sun on social media. I guess if people want to just learn more about what you're building, what your vision is, talk shop, learn more about Rize, I guess what's the best way to find you?
Yeah, you can email me at Vince, VINCE @rize.com. That's RIZE.com. And then if you connect with me on LinkedIn, you can just search me up, Vincent Sun Rize on LinkedIn, and I should pop up. And we post a bunch of content.
I love the stuff that you and Chris have been doing. It's very insightful, entertaining. Like, you guys both have a good sense of humor. It's really great.
Yeah. Chris is one of our sales leaders, and he typically is from the industry, and it's more of an older person, older brother. And so he has a lot of questions, and we decided to kind of turn that into a segment where Chris just on a daily basis.
Stuff that he's throwing out there, I guarantee, is stuff that all these companies have on their minds. So he's speaking, on behalf of the industry as a whole. These are the questions that they need answered.
Exactly.
So I think it's brilliant what you're doing.
Yeah, no stupid AI questions or just questions about technology.
Yeah.
We're really here to educate the industry about AI self-servingly, selfishly, because the more you're equipped with knowledge, hopefully the more you are attracted to Rize.
Yeah.
But that being said, I think this whole industry benefits from just sharing a lot of knowledge so that everyone just can get smarter, because we're not here to try to trick you into buying any technology or AI that isn't going to serve your business. Otherwise, everyone loses, because it's all about reputation. You guys care about your customers and your reviews on Google and stuff like that. We also care about our reputation, and certainly Grosso cares about their reputation. So
100%. I just want to congratulate you.
Yeah.
It's really inspiring to watch what you're doing out there, and we're really excited to have you speak at our event. We're honored for you to be here, of course. Another amazing episode of the Profit Sanity podcast live here at Closers Camp 2025. Again, make sure you're looking up Vincent Sun. He's absolutely brilliant. Make sure you pay attention to what he's doing at Rize. He's absolutely going to be changing the game. So on behalf of everyone here at Grosso University, volume is for vanity and profit is for
sanity.
Isn't that true? All right. Thanks so much. I'll see you on the next one.
Okay.